Let's try this again, live for the fourth time to see if this live chat can work. I don't know what the problem is. I've been having issues for weeks on this live chat. So let's wait to see if this live chat is actually working this time. Let's hopefully this chat is now working. Um, so if someone can let me know that the chat is online, because this is the fourth time I've tried to start this live. David Silver, I can see your message. Finally, the chat is actually working. Good evening, David. How are you, my friend? Thank God. This is the fourth time I've tried to start this live because of the live chat. So I'm glad it's finally working. Um, David Silver says, let's go. Absolutely. I'm here for another live Q&A. And David, I have remembered, I have watched 3 episodes of The Mentalist. And I thought it was really good. I think there's many similarities between Will Graham from Hannibal and the guy in The Mentalist. I thought episode 1 was good, episode 2 was good, and episode 3 was good. So yes, I've started watching those. The psychiatrist was the killer in the first one. The chef was the killer. The chef and his wife were the killers in the second episode, and in the third episode, it was a group of teenagers who all did who all did the killing. So, thank you for your recommendation. I really enjoyed the first 3 episodes, and I will be continuing to watch that throughout my time when I can. So, thank you, David. I did remember to watch The Mentalist. Tash says, hey, hiya Tash. At least the live chat is actually working. David says it only gets better from there. I hope so. I really enjoyed the first 3 episodes. Your recommendation is really good so far, and I'm enjoying watching it because I've never heard of it before until you mentioned it. And I've seen it pop up now and again, but never thought of watching it. But yeah, I enjoyed it so far. But this is a live Q&A about mental health and recovery, so let's have a conversation about that as well. I've got the darts on in the background. Don't forget, guys, this is a live Q&A. I'm here to answer any questions or talk about mental health, trauma, stigma, discrimination, anxiety, depression, whatever you guys need to talk about. That's what I'm here for, to engage and to have conversations with people about raising awareness of mental health. David said, happy you liked it. Sorry for sidetracking. It's okay, my friend. No worries. I just wanted to let you know that I did remember to watch the program that you recommended me to watch, and I really enjoyed the first 3 episodes. So thank you for that recommendation. And like I said, I'm here to answer questions. So if people have other questions other than subjects around mental health, then that's fine too. Of course, my channel is a mental health channel, but I'm not adverse to having conversations about other things as well. That's what I'm live for, to engage with people, to have conversations with people, to get to know people, and of course, learn their stories as well as tell mine. So, I think that's what live interaction is for, isn't it? Talking to each other, trying to grow the channel, trying to grow the community. And so far, I'm really proud of what I've done on YouTube. Sometimes it can get demoralizing, seeing all these AI and faceless YouTube channels get millions of views and they're earning thousands and thousands of pounds when I'm front-faced in front of the camera, being vulnerable, talking about a very important subject, and I'm nowhere near that. So it can be demoralizing, but I'm still here, and I will still continue to upload content about mental health and try and help and support people where possible. So I'd like to thank anyone who's ever taken their time out of their day to watch something that I've done. Mental health matters. Your mental health matters, and everyone's mental health matters on Pieces of a Broken Mind. So everyone is welcome. Um, David said, David Silver says, comparison is the thief of joy. Okay, yeah, I can agree with that. Tash says you should be proud of yourself. I am proud of what I've done so far. Sometimes it does feel like I feel like the channel deserves more recognition, but that's anyone would say that about their channel. Um, but you see all these AI and faceless channels doing really, really well, millions of subscribers, millions of views, earning good money. It is demoralizing, but it hasn't put me off, and it won't put me off. Mental health is important. It's important to me. It's a massive part of my life for the last 4 years. So I'm not going to give up. Of course, I want everyone to feel comfortable when they talk about mental health on this channel. I want people to come and feel safe to open up and talk about mental health on my channel. And everyone is welcome. Everyone is welcome on Pieces of a Broken Mind, and everyone is welcome to share their story. Christian Bibben says this. What does that mean? Very vague comment there from Christian. This is a live Q&A where we talk about or answer questions relating to mental health and trauma, recovery, and all of those things. But we can have a conversation also. But I will say, on this channel, we don't discuss politics, we don't discuss religion, we don't discuss the news. This is a live mental health Q&A to help people, to encourage people to talk about mental health and share their story. If you want to, you don't have to. You can just listen. You can just listen to the live and put a comment in, and I'll give you a shout out and I'll respond to your comment. But please be mindful of other people. This is supposed to be a safe space where people can open up and talk about their mental health. So please understand that. But any comments are very welcome as long as they're respectful of other people, and because you don't know what triggers other people. You don't know what triggers other people's mental health issues. So you need to be careful with what you're saying. But everyone is welcome on my live chat. Everyone is welcome to interact with this live session. So please do get your questions in. I'll happily answer those as honestly as I can. I can talk about my diagnosis. More broadly, I can't talk about it very specifically because that's between me and my therapist. But more broadly about trauma, mental health, and all of those things, I can discuss it. I can also discuss, suicidal thoughts, and because I've had those many times. So, more broadly, we can talk about anything relating to mental health. Anything I don't care says, did you... I don't know what that means, so I'm not going to finish the comment. But how about you wind your neck in, jog on, and go and bother someone else, you absolute moron. You just got blocked. Bye. Absolute moron. Hasn't taken long, 8 minutes in, and you get an idiot. But, what can you say? That's the internet for you. That's YouTube for you. You get idiots. And they're small-minded people who can't have grown-up conversations about very serious things like mental health. So that idiot had his neck wound in, and now he's blocked, and he's jogging on. Yeah, goodbye to that idiot. It's a live Q&A where which I'm talking about and trying to engage conversations about mental health, and you get idiots in the chat like that. Absolute moron, idiot. But you can't escape idiots and trolls on the internet. That's just the way of the world. Some people just want to see the world burn. They need to be nasty, but they can just jog on. Like I said, this is a live Q&A, so please do get your questions in. I'm happy to answer any questions. I'll answer as honestly as I can. But like I said, keep your comments respectful. This is a mental health YouTube channel, and these lives are designed to help people talk about it. So, be respectful and be mindful of that when you are putting your comments in. But every comment is welcome as long as it's respectful. and not like that idiot who got blocked. Um, these live, I do these live Q&As to try and help people. I don't do these lives to have idiots come in the chat and just act like morons. Um, but like I said, you can't get rid of these idiots. The internet is full of trolls, and it always will be. Don't forget, guys, I will remind you this is a live Q&A where we talk about mental health, so please do get your questions in. That's what I'm here for. I'll be live for the next hour, talking about mental health, answering questions on mental health. As a channel disclaimer, I am not a therapist, I am not a counsellor. I am just someone with lived experience of mental illness. I have a diagnosis, and I talk about it on YouTube. So if you are in desperate need of mental health support, please do see a mental health professional. Please do reach out and ask for help, because this channel can help you talk about it. But if you actually need help, if you actually need real mental health support, then please do see a mental health professional. And I will link all the websites and phone numbers for the UK, the US, and the rest of the world in the video description once this live is finished. So please do reach out and ask for support if you really need it. Don't suffer in silence, because there's no need to. You don't have to suffer in silence. Especially in the UK now, 1 in 5 people will suffer with a common mental health disorder. So you're not alone. Suicide is still the biggest killer of males under 50. And that needs to stop. And we can only stop that through awareness, through shining a light on suicide, to raising conversations, to starting conversations, and having the difficult conversations around these subjects, and around everything. No one should feel so isolated that they need to take their own life. No one should feel that way. I want no one to feel like that. Because there's so many ways you can get help. There's so many ways you can reach out and get support. There's mental health charities. There's the Samaritans in the UK. There's mental health websites. There's mental health online therapists and counsellors. There's so much help out there. You just need to find the right type of help for you. I did, and therapy for me has been a massively positive experience. I know not everyone likes therapy, but for me, I can only speak from my own point of view. I'm having a very positive experience with my therapist. So don't suffer in silence. Reach out and get the help is the message. You don't have to suffer in silence. You don't have to go this alone. You don't have to. But please do get your questions in. Like I said, this is a live Q&A. Happy to answer any questions. Happy to talk about my diagnosis, my mental illness. Happy to discuss whatever you guys want to discuss it also. Feel free to get it off your chest. Whatever it is you need to talk about, then feel free to jump in the chat. Let me know. And I can give you a shout out, and I can give you my opinion. So please do get your questions in. This is a live Q&A. Please do interact and say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. It's always interesting to see where people are watching from. I hope the chat hasn't frozen, because it looks like it might have frozen 14 minutes in. Hopefully not. Hopefully the chat is still working. It looks, because it's frozen on my end. Can someone put something in? Yeah. Tash says, can you see this? Yes, I can see that. No, it's not frozen. Thank God for that. After 15 minutes, I didn't want it freeze and start again, so I'm glad the chat is still working. But again, please do get your questions in. This is a live Q&A. I got the darts on in the background, but I'm here for the next 45 minutes now to talk about mental health. So please do, if you have any questions, please do get them in. But what I will say is there are many people around the world suffering with mental illness, and a lot of them haven't found the courage yet to talk about mental health. And I've been in their shoes. So that's what these live Q&As are about, is trying to inspire those people who are suffering in silence because they don't feel like they're worthy of help. They don't feel like they're worthy of support. And that's what we need to try and end. We need to break the silence on mental health. We need to challenge the stigma that still surrounds mental illness. And of course, we need to challenge mental health discrimination as well. Unfortunately, mental illness is invisible. You can't see it. It's an invisible war that goes on in someone's mind. So who are you to say what that person's going through is not valid? Who are you, or who is anyone to tell that person that their feelings are not valid? Mental illness is invisible, and once you understand that, and once you open up your mind to the fact that people are going through wars in their mind that you'll never be able to see, but they are hurtful, they are painful, they are sad, they are broken, and those mental illnesses that you can't see are very, very real. So please don't, judge people because they tell you they have a mental health disorder. Mental health is very real. Until you've experienced poor mental health, you'll never really know the impact that it can have. My diagnosis has had a massive impact on me and who I am, due to many different aspects of trauma. I've been diagnosed with complex PTSD, clinical depression, ADHD, and an anxiety disorder. So that's my diagnosis. But there's so many other people with different diagnosis, and they need to be heard too. They need to be valued too. They need to be listened to as well. So, don't be too quick to put people down. Don't be too quick to judge someone, because you never know what they're going through behind closed doors. You never know what they are battling inside their mind. So, that's another message for today. Just because you can't see mental illness, it doesn't mean it's not there. And you can do all your research, and you will find out how real it can be and how impactful it can be. I witnessed it firsthand with my own diagnosis, so I know what my mental illness does to me. I can only speak from my own personal experience, but other people who have different disorders will have different symptoms, will have different feelings, will have different emotions, different triggers. But the one thing remains the same, is that we all have, mental health. Some of us just have, the wrong end of the stick when it comes to mental health. So that's where the conversations come in. That's where the chat and the stigma gets removed, is when people start talking about it and relating to other people about what they're going through and co-regulating with each other, because it's important that people talk about mental health. So, mental health conversations save lives, and I say that every week on these live Q&As. Mental health conversations do save lives, and if you don't have those conversations, your mental health can take a life. That's how important it is. So you need to give your mental health and your mental well-being the same level of importance as your physical health, because they should go hand in hand. No one should have preference over the other. They should have equal importance in your life, both your mental well-being and your physical well-being. So understand that, and you can get on the road to recovery. The first step is acceptance. The second step is reaching out, and then the third step is engaging in that treatment. Because there's no good in having therapy if you're not going to participate, if you're not going to speak to the therapist, if you're not going to engage with her questions, or him or her, whatever it may be, their questions, their prompts, or their desire to help you. If you're not going to let them, then therapy becomes pointless. You have to put the effort in. You have to put the work in. This is a live Q&A, by the way. If you have any questions, anyone that's watching, please do get your questions in. I have pinned a question at the top there. Are you a psychological horror fan? I am, myself, yes. Brooke Dixon says yes. I love a good psychological horror. I'm a massive horror fan myself. I was just trying to see how many other people out there are horror fans. Virginia Garcia says hi. Good evening, Virginia. Welcome. I hope you're doing well. This is a live Q&A where we talk about mental health and recovery, although I have got a question up there about psychological horror, you know, because I do like that sort of genre of film. Please do get your questions in. This is a live Q&A, but we can start a poll as well. So this is a live Q&A, guys. So please do get your questions in. Happy to answer those questions. Let me know where you're watching from. How is your weekend? Are you prioritising your mental well-being? Are you looking after yourself? Are you talking to yourself a bit kinder? Because self-care is really how you take your power back. So, you know, if you constantly berate yourself and beat yourself up about things that might have happened in the past, you'll never be able to move forward. So forgive yourself and move on. Life moves on. You need to be able to move on with it. So please do get your questions in if you have any, guys. This is a live Q&A. I'm live to engage and talk to you guys about whatever it is you want to talk about, and of course mental health. So, which is obviously the main theme of the channel, my journey through mental illness. So, you know, but I'm live. Get your questions in. I happily answer those questions as honestly and as best as I can. So, if you've got a question, fire away. I've had one idiot already in the chat, but he's gone. He's been blocked. I do need a haircut and my beard cut. But get your questions in. I'm here. I'm live. This is your opportunity, guys, to get your questions in. Especially if you've been following the channel. You know, you get to talk to me live. I'm here. You know, you can connect with me. You can talk. You can ask questions. That's what these lives are for. Every Wednesday evening, every Sunday evening, live Q&A. I put myself out there to talk to people about mental health and whatever other things other people want to talk about, that makes them, you know, feel a bit better. So get your questions in, everyone. Of course, there's only 3 people watching at the moment, so there won't be many questions, but I'm live anyway, and I will continue to be live for the next 35 minutes or so, because I normally go live for around 1 hour, sometimes slightly over, depending on the chat, depending on if there's any, or if there are many questions coming in. So if you want a longer live, session, then obviously these live Q&As have to be participated in. There has to be questions, there have to be conversation, there has to be interactions. So, you know, but I always go live for a minimum of 1 hour, and then anything over the hour is a bonus. So if you want longer lives, if you want longer engagement, if you want longer conversations, then obviously these lives need to be participated in with questions, with conversations, and it's a two-way thing. Virginia Garcia says, unhoused for 3 years now and feel like I need some kind of mental health to compensate for the mind. I feel like I'm losing being out here. I can understand those types of feelings because everyone at some point in their life feels that way. They feel unworthy. They feel like they're losing in life. But life is all about how you react to it. So if you choose to react in a way that's not motivational, or in a way that's not I guess it depends on, Virginia, let me just get my words out. I guess it depends on really how you look at things. If you're looking at things through a negative lens, then you're gonna feel low, you're gonna feel depressed about it. But if you look at these things as an obstacle or a challenge and accept that challenge and remove that obstacle, then you can get on the track of being positive, It's always about consistency and not giving up and believing in yourself and believing in everything that you have survived so far in your life, because you're here, you're talking to me today, you've survived your 100% of your bad days, so you just need to focus on the challenges and see them as challenges and accept those challenges and really push yourself to feel better. Really push yourself to snap out of it and really push yourself to get help and support, because you don't have to do it alone. Like I said, if you feel like you need mental health help, then see a mental health professional, because that's what they're there for. They can help you, they can support you. That's what they're trained to do, but I understand that life throws these things at you, but life is 10% of what happens to you, and 90% of how you react to it. So, you choose how you react. Virginia says, never thought of looking at it as a challenge. I do. I look at my mental illness now and my diagnosis as a challenge. Can I overcome this? Can I live alongside my mental illness? Can I live a life with my mental illness? That's how I look at things now. I ask myself these questions and I see myself as these as these challenges, and I set myself tiny little goals each day to try and be better. And I think if you celebrate the small wins in life, even just getting up out of bed when you're feeling depressed and making your bed, that's a small win. If you can change your mindset, you can change your life. So Virginia, I think it's how you look at life. If you look at life through a negative lens, you're going to search for validation and you're going to search for evidence for your mind to believe that everything is negative. But if you look at everything as a challenge and a problem to solve, then you can look at things through a positive lens and overcome those things, if that makes sense. So, if you can change your mindset, you can change your life. And you can't stop all those thoughts in your mind, but you can stop the thoughts from controlling you. They don't have to control you. You can't stop them coming, but you can stop them from controlling you. And that's the thing. I think that's the best advice I could give on that. Virginia says, total sense, thank you. You're very welcome, and thank you for the question, and thank you for being a part of the live. I really appreciate the interaction, and I really appreciate the support. Don't forget, guys, please do subscribe. It's only a few clicks for you guys, but it's massive for the channel. It's massive for the channel's awareness. It's massive for the channel's reach. The more people that subscribe, the more people we can reach, the more people we can help, the more people that talk about mental health. And that's ultimately the goal, is to help people talk about their mental health when they're suffering. And I can only ever give you my own personal opinion and advice. That's all I can do. Because I have lived experience of many different things, many different feelings, many different emotions, many different traumas, and I guess I've been in rock bottom for so long I guess I know how to cope with that to an extent. Obviously, I need therapy and counselling, and I'm on waiting lists for very specific treatments, especially for the PTSD and the ADHD. So, um, in the meantime, please don't don't try and do this alone. You don't have to. Reach out and ask for help. Talk to someone. Let someone know that you're struggling. Let them support you. Um, Acceptance is very powerful. And once you accept that you need help, then you can move forward. So be open to change and be open to help. Be open to support. And just be yourself. Because you deserve help. You deserve support. Whatever you're going through is valid. Your traumas are valid. Your feelings are valid. And your story matters. So keep going. Is what I will say. Is keep going. Life is unfortunately a journey of ups and downs, and we have to be strong enough to face both the good times and the bad times. We have to be able to embrace the good times and be grateful, and we have to be able to face the bad times and come out of it the other side. So life is ups and downs. Life can't promise you nothing. Can't promise you good things for your whole life. There's going to be loss, there's going to be grief, there's going to be trauma, there's going to be relationship breakups, there's going to be many different things. Life is ups and downs. It's how you react to it, and it's how you face those things is what matters and what counts, in my opinion. And that's what I would say to any of my clients that I work with in my life coaching business. You have choice, you have the power of what happens next. Can't control what's happening, but you can control how you react to it, and that's the most important thing. And I would tell all of my clients that as being a life coach with lived experience of mental illness is something that benefits me and makes me a better coach. Not every day is good, but there's always something good in every day. I have good days and I have very, very bad days. So I can't tell you that your mental health journey is going to be easy, because it's not. It's not. There's nothing easy about it, but you have to be ready for that. But you're more resilient than you give yourself credit for. Don't forget that. And 100% of everything that's happened to you so far, you've survived. So give yourself some credit for that. Talk to yourself a bit kinder, and really be grateful for having today, because tomorrow is promised to no one. If you wake up tomorrow, you're blessed. If you wake up the next day, you're blessed, because a lot of people don't. If you're given another day, it's another day to change your life. For the better or worse, it's up to you. You choose. You have the power. What happens next is down to you. You control the outcome. You can't control the problem. You can't control what life's going to throw at you, but you can control the outcome, because you choose. You choose. And that's the best advice I can give on feeling, depressed, because I know about that. I've been suicidal. I've tried to end my life. I wanted to end my life. I needed my life to end in 2022. I wanted it to be over. I was done with it. So I know what it takes. I know what it's like. I know that darkness. I know that sadness. I know that pain. I'm very familiar with all three of those things. But I'm here today talking about YouTube, mental health on YouTube. So, I'm doing something right. And if I can help one person every day that I go live, that feel less lonely and feel less alone, that's a win for me. I don't care. If it was just about views and subscribers, I would have quit a long time ago, because my channel is small. I don't do massive views. I haven't got loads of subscribers. If it was just about that, I would have quit a long time ago. I create content about mental health in the hope of helping one person every single day feel less lonely in their mental health journey, and that's the most important thing to me. Um, of course, of course, I ask people to subscribe. Of course, I want people to subscribe. But ultimately, if it was just about money, then I would have quit a long time ago, because I'm not getting paid off YouTube. I don't get paid for doing this. I voluntarily do this. I I do it on my off my own back, because I want to help others, and because I know that darkness. I've been there, you know, and it's hard to come back from a place in your life where you're content and that you want your life to be over. You know, once you've decided that your life's over, coming back from that is extremely hard. But with the help and support of, therapy, and other aspects, you can do it. You can do it. You don't have to have therapy. If you can't get on with therapy, then please see your local GP or local doctor, or work with a life coach. A life coach and a therapist are two different things. Therapy and counselling deals with the past and your trauma, and things that you might have happened to you that you need to discuss and talk through. Whereas a life coach works with your mindset, works with your motivation, works with your future, So don't give up on yourself when there's so much help out there. Um, and even with me being a life coach and having a life coaching business, even if you don't want to work with me, there are many other coaches out there with who can help you. There's trauma informed coaches. I'm a life coach, obviously, but I have multiple diplomas in life coaching. I have ADHD. I have a diploma in ADHD coaching, advanced ADHD coaching. I have a diploma in life coaching, advanced life coaching, spiritual life coaching, and life purpose coaching. So, I have many different areas where I can help. But if I'm not the one you want to choose to work with, then, but please don't suffer in silence. If you need support with your mindset, your future, your motivation, your future planning, clearing your mind, clearing a new path, and walking a new path, then work with a life coach. If you're struggling with your trauma, your depression, your past, the pain, the sadness, and everything that you're holding on to, then you need to see a mental health professional. But there's plenty of help either way. Whichever way you look at it, there's help and support. And I hope this channel can help you as well, and I hope my content can help you as well, and I hope you can resonate with some of the things I say, because like I said, if I can help one person today through this live feel a little bit less lonely, that there are people out there talking about mental health on YouTube, then that's a win for me. Like I did put a post in the community tab a few days ago saying how demotivated I was and how demoralized I was when I'm seeing all these AI and faceless YouTube channels doing millions and millions of views. They have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and they're earning thousands of pounds a month. And it sounds like I'm in a pity party, but I pour my heart and soul into being honest and uploading content that's relevant, that people might resonate with, and it's just getting nowhere near their views and their subscribers. So it can be demoralizing. But if it was just about that, I would have given up. But it's not. There is that. I would like that. But the main thing is I'm trying to help people because it's my purpose. It helps me. I think I'm the best version of myself when I'm talking on YouTube about mental health and I'm helping others. I'm the best version of myself if I'm coaching someone and talking about life coaching. I think we're all the best versions of ourselves when we help others, because by helping others we lift each other up. And that is a feeling that is so powerful when you help someone. It's important. And I really hope one day to be a big YouTube channel on mental health, and there's many more mental health channels on YouTube. A lot of them AI. A lot of doctors and therapists and counselors who are great, and they do great content. Um, you know, I'm someone with lived experience of mental illness, trying to talk about that. And that's what um, I tried to do, and I will continue to try and do to help others when and where I can. Um, One day I hope to get to those levels. One day I hope to um, win or earn the silver YouTube plaque. One day I hope to earn the gold YouTube plaque. Um, and, and can you imagine if a small mental health YouTube channel ever got there? That would be what a journey that is, and what a story that would be. Um, and you could be a part of that by subscribing to the channel. Um, you can do that. You can help grow the channel by subscribing, by viewing, by sharing the channel. This is an honest, open mental health channel where mental health conversations are encouraged, and they are wanted, they are needed on this channel. So be a part of that. Be a part of something that helps other people. You know. I think we can all agree that mental health needs more support, and the more people that are talking about it, the more YouTube creators are talking about it, the more counsellors and therapists are talking about it, the better for everyone. Um, and of course, that's important. I'm just checking an email. Sorry, guys. I will be 1 second. 1 second, guys. Don't forget, I've been rambling, but this is a live Q&A, so I'm here to answer questions and talk about mental health. So if you have any questions, please fire away, get them in. I will answer those questions as honestly and as forthcoming as I can, and I'll do my best to do that. I will be live for another 15 minutes or so. Please do get your questions in if anyone has any questions. I'll be live for another 15 minutes, guys, so please, if there's any questions, please do get them in. Like I said, I would do longer lives than 1 hour if there was, if there was a chat, if there was more people to interact with, but it's always a minimum of 1 hour, and anything over the hour is a bonus. So if you want longer lives, if you want longer Q&A sessions, please share the live, please get more people involved. The more questions, the more conversations that we have, the longer we can go live, the longer we can talk and help and try and help others, of course. Alex, Fortnite player, says hi. Welcome, Alex. It's nice to see you again, my friend. thank you for joining the live. I hope you're doing well. Appreciate your comments as always. Alex says, come on Spain. I'm actually supporting Spain tonight as well. I do have Spanish blood in me. My father is Spanish. Vega. So come on Spain. Hopefully Spain win. Especially after Argentina knocked England out. Not that I like England. I don't give a shit about England, to be honest. I don't really like international football. I prefer Premier League football. And I can't wait for the Premier League season to start again. Because I've missed it over the summer months. I'm watching the darts. I'm not watching the World Cup. I am watching the darts this evening. Alex says my dad is as well. My dad is as well. Well, we have that in common. I hope Spain win the World Cup, but you know, you can never count out Argentina. So I'm sure it'll be a good game, but it's not something I'm watching tonight. I've got the darts on, and I will be watching the darts this evening. Once I've obviously finished the live. I've got it on in the background at the moment. Hopefully you can't hear it because it might be copyrighted. YouTube might tell me off for that. I hope not. Alex says, how are you doing? I'm doing okay today, thank you, Alex. Today is a good day. Any day that I'm able to go live and talk to you guys is a good day. I have to deal with my mental illness, and some days are good, some days are bad, some days are tougher than other ones. But what I have to do is show up for myself and show up for you guys who support the channel. And that's what I try to do every day. I wish I could go live every day, but my mind doesn't work that way. But today's a good day, Alex. Thank you for your concern. Really appreciate your support and thank you for the question. Man United played their first pre-season game yesterday. Man United played Wrexham and they lost 1-0. So that was a bit of a joke, to be honest. United losing to Wrexham in their first pre-season friendly. But you know, what can you do? I can't wait for the Premier League season to start. I've missed Premier League football. And it'll be good to go down Old Trafford and see United again, especially now that we're in the Champions League. You know, can't wait to be back at Old Trafford next season. Alex says, when did you start streaming? Today, I started streaming about 7:10, 7:15. I tried to go live at 7, but I was having problems with the chat. 4 years ago, Alex says, I mean, like ever. About 4 years I've been on YouTube now, and I think I've been able to go live for 3 of those years. So yeah, for about 3 years. I only go live on YouTube. I don't stream on Kick. I don't stream on TikTok anymore because I think it's pointless. My chosen platform is YouTube. Um, I don't know. Maybe I should branch out and stream on other platforms. I'm not sure. I'm not. I've never been that tech savvy, so I tried to stick to what I know. YouTube is what I know. Um, so yeah, I think I've been streaming then. So I've been making content for 4 years, and I've been streaming and going live on YouTube for about 3 years. And all those lives are still on my channel anyway, so you can scroll back as far as 4 years ago, and still see them there. You know. I guess I know I do see a lot of people streaming on Twitch or Kick. I don't know if that's worth it, because or maybe it is worth it. Maybe it's easier to grow on those types of streaming platforms than it is to grow on YouTube. I'm not sure. What do you guys think? Where's the best place to do these live Q&As? Is it YouTube? Is it Kick? Is it Twitch? Um, is it another platform? What do you guys think? I don't know. I think streamers are massive these days, isn't they? But I think the market is quite saturated. I don't think someone like me would get a lot of views on something like Twitch or Kick. So I just stick to what I know, and I do live on YouTube. I try to go live on TikTok, but TikTok live isn't that great anymore. Um, TikTok doesn't pay any money anyone anymore. I've been on TikTok for 4 years as well, and listen to this. On TikTok, on Pieces of a Broken Mind, I have over 30,000 followers on TikTok, and I'm still not getting paid any money from TikTok. And I've got over 30k followers, and I've been doing it for 4 years. So, you know, TikTok, you don't pay any money anymore. The TikTok lives people just want stupid lives, you know, people doing stupid things, skits and comedies and whatever. I see a lot of Twitch streamers doing, streaming their daily lives and whatever. I'm just someone who talks about mental health, so I don't know if that would work on a streaming platform. To be honest, I'm not really sure if that's something that would really help me grow this channel if I was streaming elsewhere. But I choose YouTube because it's what I know, and it's what I've been doing for the last 4 years. So, um, I'm a creature of habit. Um, I tend to do things that I've always done because it's easier. Maybe that's a good thing, maybe that's a bad thing. Um, but I don't know. Streaming, I guess, is saturated and there's loads of people doing it, and I don't think many people would watch me on Kick or Twitch or something like that, with respect. Um, I'll be live for another 5 minutes or so, guys. So I've been live for nearly 1 hour, 55 minutes at the moment. If there was more people talking, if there was more people interacting, I would stay live longer. But like I said, it's always a minimum of 1 hour, and whatever happens after that is always a bonus. So I really appreciate everyone who has watched, who has dropped a message in the chat, who has supported the live. Please do subscribe, and help me grow the channel. And together we can put the pieces of our broken minds back together. Um, your mental health matters, my mental health matters, everyone's mental health matters, and everyone is. You are enough. You are enough then. You are enough now, and you will always be enough in the future. The world's a better place with you in it. Never forget that. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on your life. Face adversity. Face trauma. Face sadness. Face depression. Face pain. And it makes you a more rounded, stronger person. So don't give up on yourself, please. Don't do that. But I've enjoyed this evening's live. I've had a couple of conversations. It's always a pleasure to see Alex. It's always. I spoke to David at the start of the live, who's a regular as well. So yeah, it's always good going live and talking to people from around the world. Even if it's only 3 or 4 people watching, I'm still live. I've still done it. It makes me feel better for today. I've gone live and I've tried to help others. So the importance of the live is that to me. If I can help one person, then I'm winning. Okay, we're coming up towards the end of the live now. Last couple of minutes, guys. So if there's any final questions, please do get them in. I will be live next time I'll be live is Wednesday evening, 7 p.m. For another live Q&A. So join me Wednesday if you want to have a conversation, if you want to talk about mental health. Next time I'll be live is Wednesday. So please do join me for that. And don't forget, guys, on my podcast channel, which is my mental health podcast channel, which is brand new, episode number 2 of the Quiet Battle podcast is coming on Friday of next week. Episode 2 is coming on Friday, and I have a special guest for that. If you're big on TikTok, you're gonna know who Luke Bennett is. He is live on the podcast. His episode will be going live Friday of next week. So if you like mental health podcasts, that episode number 2 is launching next week on Friday. And it will be a good one. It will be a very interesting one, and it will be a very interesting conversation to have with someone who is in the public eye and has many things that could have potentially, he could have potentially, many different aspects of mental health. So it'll be a very interesting episode. Don't forget to look out for that episode number 2 next week on the Quiet Battle podcast on my new YouTube podcast channel, the Quiet Battle podcast. Really excited to show you guys that episode when I record it. I'm recording it on Tuesday, and it will go live on the channel on the Friday, and then I will start planning in episodes 3 and 4. I think the first season will have 15 episodes, and then season 2 might have 20. So let's see how season 1 goes. But episode 2 is coming on Friday of next week, and I'm really excited for you guys to see that. And that is on my new podcast channel, the Quiet Battle Podcast. But I think, we will call that a day this evening. I've been live for 1 hour now. Not much going on, so thank you to everyone who's commented. Thank you to everyone who's watched. Look after yourself. Look after your family and friends. And of course, I'll speak to you very soon on Pieces of a Broken Mind. Take care. Goodbye.